berhasil dalam setiap kali fundraising dinner, kita tengok apakah kebolehan setiap parti di Lembah Pantai. Kalau bab meraih dana tu bangsa barulah. Anna, Marsha, Betul, ya, Philip memang pakar-pakar meraih dana. Tepukan untuk mereka. Dan kita juga bertuah kerana baru-baru ini saya telah mendapat keahlian daripada ranting Mid Valley Mega Mall. Mr. Lim, please stand up. Untuk keadilan. Dan saya amat berterima kasih juga YB Tony Pua yang hadir banyak program kita, YB Dato' Zul, saudara Serendren, teman seperjuangan, ya. Saudara Tian Chua sebentar tadi, saya mohon maaf, saya juga hadir program di Kelang. Kita ada jamuan raih dana di Kelang. Kalau dah naik presiden tu, kena bantu dah raih dana di merata-merata tempat. Seluruh tim cabang keadilan Lembah Pantai, Saudara Rizwan, Saudara Izhar, Jabat Lembah Pantai yang banyak pernah berbakti, tim NIC, Saudara Zaman, Pengarah Operasi, Haji Jess, Pengarah Pilihan Raya Keadilan Lembah Pantai. Bukan mudah nak mendapat jawatan kerana di Lembah Pantai ni permulaan parti semua tak nak bersama dengan Parti Keadilan. Siapa berani bersama dengan Parti Pembangkang? Jadi tenaga-tenaga ini yang memberikan kita kekuatan. Tapi yang paling penting, tuan-tuan, perempuan, para dermawan yang begitu komited, yang setia bersama saya, yang tidak dapat saya balas budi, kasih, dukungan, kecuali dengan janji bahawa saya akan pegang amanah dan berjuang habis-habisan demi Malaysia yang lebih baik. That is my promise, my pledge to you all. Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera, selamat malam. Jadi pertama sekali saya ucapkan terima kasih. You know, it's really wonderful. I come in this brilliant 10-hole temple. It has so much history. To some of you who know, the hours before Oaks Lalang took place, they had a gathering in this temple in 1986. Of course, right now we're not talking about any Oaks. Don't worry. The police outside there assured me, kami kat sini jalan-jalan JYP, no problem. You see? So they're here also to safeguard our safety, and there's no reason for Malaysia to undergo any sort of tumultuous history because we've gone past them. So it's really meaningful for Parti Keadilan Rakyat for me to have our fundraising dinner in the temple, because not only we cannot get any particular hall under DBKL in Lembah Pantai, that too lah, that's a problem. Okay? I think it really signifies, how we've evolved. When you talk about Malaysia, when you talk about the fact that, we celebrate diversity. That is our main strength. Nobody really cares how tall your buildings are. People really care how genuine and how sincere and how connected and united the people are. So that's why we should be proud to stand tall, because we are brilliant Malaysians and brilliant in our diversity. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you've heard enough in terms of UMNO and Barisan Nasional's horrid track record. I think what's important here is what we must do. Now you know from what Surendran has highlighted earlier, kalau bak menipu ni, Dato' Seri Najib, brilliant performance. Dari peringkat awal sampai sekarang, janji-janji satu pun tak pernah tepati, bukan sahaja bagi Pakatan Rakyat, tapi bagi keseluruhan rakyat Malaysia. Because I'm telling you, yes, we are political adversaries, we have differences. I mean, we are in the opposition. But you give your word. We went to the police, we explained our plans, and we got and obtained approval. And of course, change of mind. So I think it's very important to understand. I would like to start with a quote, of course, by W.B. Yeats, The Second Coming. Because it's important to understand this. You see, this is the reason why I joined the party. This is why I believe in a better Malaysia. This is why I believe Malaysia is worth fighting for. Because of conviction. So it goes, turning and turning in the widening gyre. The falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dim tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. The fact that what we are here tonight, that all of you have willingly parted with your money, your time, your support, prove that we are all committed, we are all full of passionate intensity to fight in defense of principles and in defense of our convictions. We believe and we know you need to put things right. And you must understand that is the prerequisite to joining politics. People talk so much about winning, yes. But the fact of the matter is, you've given more than 5 decades to one party to control Malaysia. The party that doesn't understand, we do not want your croissant. That's what Dr. Sri Rosman was offering the poor underprivileged children. We do not want your rebates for smartphones that certainly cost more than 500 ringgit. Okay, Dr. Sri Najib, whoever designed that policy was horrible. And we also don't want occasional cash handouts that's given just to buy votes. People want the government of the day to stop robbing the rakyat blind, robbing us dry, robbing us in the morning, in the afternoon, in the midnight. I mean, every single day of our lives. And that is why when we talk about political reform, this is something that needs to be implemented by the future government of Malaysia. Now, Dr. Zul has clearly stated what's our vision. Lita'arafu, the fact that we are together, and that paves the way of a society that is glued by a common belief. When we talk about the political front, I am telling you, this is a commitment implemented in Selangor, where you have a litany of projects owned by families of ministers and implemented so poorly. You have the radar system that doesn't work occasionally. You have, well, basically cows that live in condos, but this has been said to death. I don't need to repeat it. And you have a land swap with a building that is non-existent. Now, because of that, we must understand the future of Malaysia must be governed by a set of ministers, be it at the local level, the state levels, or the federal government. And this is our pledge. Ministers who hold positions of high office must immediately, first and foremost, apologize. You minta maaf pada suami you ke, pada isteri you ke, pada anak-anak kerana setelah bergelar menteri, seorang pun tak boleh sentuh projek kerajaan. You must push for this. You must ensure this is implemented. There has to be a certain degree, responsibility accorded to someone who you call a minister. What I cannot accept is, dia menteri bagilah 1-2 projek. Oh, kesian. Nak kena bawa kereta besar. And the worst, I think, the service for the Indian community, adalah seksa. You had to vote out Sami Velu in Sungai Siput, and many don't understand. Sami Velu is now the special envoy to India. No, don't laugh yet. You don't know how much he is being paid. He is being paid 3 times my salary, 3 times. And he lost Sungai Siput. Imagine what would happen if he had won. But this is what's happening. And Auntie Kiat, for some of you who were formerly members of MCA, I know some of you are. It's okay. Jangan bimbang. Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim 16 tahun dalam UMNO. You know? Okay, kalah lah. Tak jadi Presiden MCA lagi. Tak apalah. Tok Sri Raja berfikir, what can I give you? You become special envoy to China. But we already have an ambassador to China. No. Our ambassador in China cannot speak Mandarin. Cannot. So we must give this job to the special envoy to China, and of course being paid handsomely, sama dengan geng dia, Tan Sri Sami Value. So again, like I said, a new era. When you talk about political reforms, there's a rationale why you must curb the excesses, the expenditure spent by a minister. Projek kerajaan tak boleh sentuh. Ada sebab dia. Kalau perlu tingkatkan gaji menteri, okey. Kerana menteri yang ada sekarang pun semua tak berkelayakan. Ya, betul. Jadi bila menteri baru nanti, kerajaan baru nanti, you make sure smart a bit lah. Not like someone fail to manage our education system, our students consecutively fared worse in the International Mathematics and Science study. Never mind, give him the home ministry. Now he's making our life ever the miserable. So, thank you again, Dato' Sri Najib. Really, you've done us proud. You've really chosen a good band of bandits to lead Malaysia. So, like I said, political reform, the job and scope of ministers. This you must remember. You know, there's nothing quite like conviction and political will to implement the changes in Malaysia. And ladies and gentlemen, I would also like to say, when you talk about changes, Tony mentioned a hypothetical criminal case. Yeah? Unfortunately, I was the victim. Now, I don't want this to happen in real life, so I'm very thankful that special branch officers are ever ready in my service. They monitor me, they take my pictures. In Pahang, they take at least 100 pictures. Thank you so much. You know, this matters to me because I feel safer that you're always around, omnipresent. Omnipresent. You see, now, if only that sort of security, that sort of safety can be extended to Malaysians. You know? So, when we talk about crime, the only problem is not with crime index. That is why our plan is to implement the Independent Police Misconduct and Complaints Commission, yes, but you have to have a carrot and stick approach. Okay, not just a stick. Because the policemen feel defensive, and you have the likes of Musa Hassan coming forward because he thinks he can get amnesty. Well, think again. I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying think. That's it. Okay? So, basically, you have about one policeman for every 270 Malaysians. Now, before before another high-ranking police officer attacks me and says that Nurul Izzah is lying, Nurul Izzah doesn't understand. Right now, it's one policeman for every 500 Malaysians. I will ask that they pose the question to Dato' Hishamuddin, because in Parliament, the answer we obtained on the 1st of November 2012 showcases answer from the Ministry of Home Affairs. In Malaysia right now, we have one policeman for 270 Malaysians. Okay? The Interpol numbers stand at one policeman for 250 Malaysians. So for the first time, Malaysia hampir boleh. Because our numbers are better than Singapore. Our numbers are, don't lah, okay lah, proud lah. You know, I also feel proud, you know. Not easy, but okay lah. You know. Our numbers are better than Thailand and the United Kingdom. So we have more policemen per capita. Unfortunately, most of them are still in the General Operations Force. Orang Melayu panggil polis hutan lah. Polis hutan. Ya, because ada komunis banyak kat Malaysia ni. So semua akan jadi polis hutan. You see? You must know this. Sometimes I also don't know how many communists are in Malaysia. We don't allow Chimping to come back, but still we have many communists in Malaysia. Okay? Oh, janganlah. How can you believe the propaganda jahat? DAP bukan komunis. Please lah, Malaysians. Janganlah. Okay? So, basically, you see, most of them police hutan and of course special branch officers. Now, our plan is to ensure You have a clear redeployment strategy. Most of the policemen, you can abolish the special branch because in the UK, that is what they've done. They've abolished the special branch outfit and replaced it with a leaner, smaller counter-terrorism unit. It can be done in Malaysia. They will still retain their jobs. Pakcik-pakcik SB, jangan bimbang, kerja tu kami bagi. Sokong kami je masa pilihan raya. Okay? Nak bagi tahu. So, that's a clear strategy, clear plan. Okay? If you want to continue to vote Dato' Hishamuddin, I'll tell you what he's going to do. First, aside from releasing 1,000 plus hardcore criminals after Popo was abolished, he is planning, this is grand plan of Barisan Nasional. After they're so brilliant, they have pemandu, they have government transformation program, they spend more than 100 plus million ringgit of our money to pay these consultants to come up with this plan. And the plan is, is to add 50,000 more police personnel by 2015. Which will make the number of policemen per Malaysians to 225. Melebihi statistik Interpol. Now, I also support Malaysia boleh, but I think tak payahlah nak melawan Interpol, tak payah. You see? We must focus on redeployment because the more policemen you take in, the more expenditure is going to be. You must ensure the police that you have now, you spend money on retraining, you spend money on better cars, not the current one, I don't know how much, 20 million for 20,000 motorcycles. I mean, you have to think about this thing seriously, and we have to allow the police some degree of independence and empowerment. Now, because of that, I'm telling you, the plans now are very clear. The depoliticization, but also the redeployment that will ensure semua taman, semua rumah itu dapat pegawai, penyiasat yang mencukupi. You see, my uncle was a policeman. And I visited the quarters and I know how horribly they live. And you want the best to become policemen. And you're not going to get that pool of talent if you don't commensurate or don't compensate them accordingly. So that's the plan for Pakatan Rakyat. Now the next I would like to touch on Dr. Zul, because he mentioned free education. And some of you might say, how is Pakatan going to fund this? I'm telling you, we have no choice. In Parliament, we found out from the 2010 PTPTN report, cara pengendalian PTPTN oleh semua ahli Parlimen BN, I checked, the past 4 chairmen were all BN MPs. They basically tidak boleh menjelaskan 24 bilion dalam account. So you have that problem accounting, but you also have the problem of collecting the money. Only 49% of the PTPTN loans have been collected. Why? Because most of the records have been destroyed in the rain when it was kept scattered everywhere by the management of PTPTN. You just read the auditor's report. So, for me, what Pakatan is suggesting is a way out. In the US, they had the Debt Student Loan Forgiveness Act. So, for Malaysia's purposes, if you don't start now, you're going to be laden with a 50 billion ringgit debt. Don't forget, most of the billions recently taken, loans made by the government, was taken from CIMB, Dato' Sri Najib punya brother, at 5.17% interest rate. So every month it will accumulate. So I'm telling you, all the suggestions that we've come up with is to make sure whatever happens, we safeguard Malaysia's interests. So please don't wait until the 14th GE. I'm not interested in winning Malaysia in the 14th GE because by then we'll be broke. It's true. You look at the numbers, we need to take over Malaysia now. We need to save the government, our money, basically, and improve the current state of matters. Now, coming from the Sekolah Kerajaan product, believe it or not, most ministers' children would be sent to international schools. When my father decided to put his in government schools. So all my life, I've gone through from primary to secondary sekolah-sekolah kerajaan. Hanya yang saya selamat tak pernah dengar lah lagu BTN. Tak pernah lalu pergi kursus BTN. Itu alhamdulillah selamat sikit. But my point being, you know, you go through the government education system and you understand they have no clue how to proceed and move forward. I mentioned the TIMSS results and I'm telling you, from 1999 until now, we've gone down the drain. We used to be on average the same as many countries. The last TIMSS result, which took place in the year 2011, assessment of Form 2 students among more than 50 countries, we were at par with the Palestinian Authority. Yes, that's the state of our education. And they're at war. They're being attacked. What excuse do we have? And that's what angers me. Because all these ministers that have been raping us daily, they don't care because they can send their children elsewhere. They've made their money out of the government projects or failed government projects. And what are Malaysians left with? I know cara untuk bantu orang miskin, tak kira lah Cina, Melayu, India, education. You bagi peluang, semata-mata dia miskin, you bagi susu yang ada E. coli. Semata-mata dia miskin, you bagi klinik, lepas tu doktor tak ada. Ya, doktor tak ada. After inspecting many clinics to Malaysia, as we inspect, there's no medical officer present because they only have mere hospital attendants contributing the Medical Act in Malaysia. So, like I said, whatever you do, treat people with dignity. Treat people with dignity. Tonight, you know, when I started my life in politics, every person matters. It's not just a numbers game. Sure, you want to win, yes, to save Malaysia, but every Malaysian matters. Every Malaysian matters. There are people with soul, so whatever you do, never lose sight of the principles and never lose sight of the sincerity. Now, I would like to end tonight first with the pantun. Because I went to Klang just now, sorry I was late. And Wong Chen, hi, I didn't mention you, sorry. But I'll buy you lunch, as you spoke just now. From this old uncle in Klang, Uncle Kui Lee, and he wrote for me a poem on Pakatan Rakyat. Berbilang kaum bersatu padu, berlainan agama saling menghormati, berlainan bahasa saling mempelajari, pelbagai budaya sama merayai. So Uncle Kui Lee, this is for you. And that's why, for me tonight, you have many responsibilities, much work ahead of you. It's not just about voting people, it's about making Malaysia better. It's about filling up that void with meaning. But it requires each one of us, all of us, to make this a success. And I would just like to end with a very powerful poetry by Khairil Anwar. It's entitled Kerawang Bekasi. You see, it's also a testament. If I know Indonesian poets, meaning we can manage relations with Indonesia far better lah than the current government. Anyone can actually. Basically, the Kerawang Bekasi is a small border in Indonesia, which basically a civil war took place over there. So a lot of soldiers died in the trenches, and basically he's giving a voice to all the soldiers and those who passed away in the war. Kami yang kini terbaring antara Kerawang Bekasi tidak bisa teriak merdeka dan angkat senjata lagi. Tapi siapakah yang tidak lagi mendengar deru kami? Terbayang kami maju dan mendegap hati. Kami bicara padamu pada malam di sepi. Jika dada rasa hampa dan jam dinding yang berdetak, kami mati muda. Yang tinggal tulang diliputi debu. Kenanglah kami. Kami sudah coba apa yang kami bisa. Tapi kerja belum selesai, belum bisa memperhitungkan arti 4-5 ribu nyawa. Kami sekarang mayat. Berikan kami arti. Berjagalah terus di garis batas pernyataan dan impian. Kenanglah kami. Yang tinggal tulang-tulang diliputi debu. Beribu kami terbaring antara Kerawang Bekasi. Now friends, we must remember the struggles we went through. If for me personally, it's in 98, for many of you, Dr. Zul, years before, this is our real chance. If you want to give meaning to a better Malaysia, if you want to remind politicians to, for God's sake, rule in the interest of Malaysians, to stop the politics of bigotry, of racist, of being prejudicial, and using religion to divide one another, then the time has come. We need every one of you. This coming 13 GE is the general elections that, for me, impossible to think about, because no one could think that in 15 years we had a real chance to win Putrajaya. We have a real chance to win Kota Baru. So please, I implore you, please don't be afraid. Please don't feel that they will do terrible things, because I'm telling you, we are here, we are standing up for your rights, we are making sure we go, we move on in this fight truly as Malaysians and teach the Sri Najib on what it really means to be one Malaysia. So with that, again, thank you so much for coming. And of course, I hope you enjoyed the dinner, I hope you enjoyed the night. And ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a long, long time before 13 GE. Not too long, but still, every single day will be painful. So please, make sure you make your vote count. Make sure you make your family's vote count. And make sure you make your neighbor's vote count. Take care. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good night to everyone. And selamat Hari Malaysia.
Ladies and gentlemen, just two announcements before you go. The first one, for those of you who want a nice bedtime reading, you've got a lot of very funny stuff, yeah? Because tomorrow you know you're going to read the nightmare that is PN newspapers. Yeah. And then secondly, for those of you who want to contribute by being volunteers, please fill in the forms that are on your table and carry the big forms to the door and put it